Okay, guys, I don't know whether to put in my cap. That's you guys will get me. You guys will get me. Okay, guys. All right. Firstly, let's welcome every single person. We welcome every single person. We welcome every single person, and we welcome both returning and new viewers. All right. So you all are all welcome. You all are all welcome. All right, guys. I welcome you guys in today's live stream section, and you guys are not taking for granted the fact that you're here and the fact that you're watching. You have regard that, and we'll give you thumbs up for that. And it's not taken for granted. Alright, guys, so in today's live stream section, we're going to be discussing something or a topic, and it's very, very crucial, and like it cannot just do with that. It's a topic that has to do with our student as well, because that was set for, and that is what we're doing already, and our possible ways and facts, like everything we were doing is just to get it done, and in a way that our young adults and our young youth won't get confused, or let's just say they won't just get stuck in life, or let's just say during the process. You get that? So that's for that. And our primary goal objective is just to a kind of review all these things to our students, all these things for our young adults, all of these to our growing and upcoming adults. Now it's going to help them in directing their path. It's going to help them in shaping their track. It's going to help them in seeing things in a different way and perspective that an average student is not seeing, and they are going to start making possible ways and plans in order to a kind of towards that we're teaching, and it's going to really help them a lot. So that's for that, guys. Okay, guys, so let me welcome you guys again. I welcome every single person here. I welcome both return viewers and new audience. So you all are all welcome. And before we get started, maybe as we normally do, I'm going to run around the last live session we did. That was yesterday. I'm just going to a kind of throw more light on it. I don't know, some people here, if you're not so opportune to join that yesterday one, you're not left out. I'm going to just ensure like through, or let's just say give some highlights, like let's just say small tips, some of the things we treated yesterday. I'm just going to bring it, or let's just say do a bit summary on it. So if it interests you, you can just equally just check. It's just a previous section stream that we did. That was yesterday before this one. Now you'll see. Alright, guys. So that's for that. And on that note, let me just say a bit something on yesterday's section stream that we did. And if you wish to check, okay, that yesterday's session was yesterday's session was power of consistency over power of talent. Guys, you won't I don't know, I don't just know, but it was really amazing. Like yesterday's session was powerful, like you didn't afford to miss it. So if you're here and you maybe peradventure you were not opportune to join yesterday, maybe just after this section, maybe you just try checking, but I assure you that it's really benefits. Like we said a lot when it has to do with talent, and when it has to do with power of consistency. And part of what you said there was you being talented, you as an adult being talented, you as a teenager, as a youth being talented is not enough. That you are gonna attach, or let's just say introduce consistency to that in it, so as to help that talent or produce a better result or even more efficient result. So that's for that. And under that note, we said a lot of things, and we a kind of introduce a strategy, or let's just say a prescribed something on how you can equally start attaching, or let's just say start adapting to consistency. If and again, what we say there is you being talented isn't enough, and we said consistency beats talent. When talent fails to work hard, I don't just know, but it's a kind of funny statement, but that's just true. Consistency beats talent when talent fails to work hard. Now, if you was asked, or like, if I don't know, if you just hear the word consistency beats talent when talent, you will imagine how can consistency beat talent? Is it by fight? Is it by quarreling? How? Okay, let me just quickly say a bit how consistency can beat talent. And I think we also said it on the last section. Maybe you just check, but let me just say it on, because of some people are here, we are not opportune to join. So consistency can equally beat talent when talent fails to work hard. And again, we said consistency. Okay, we say talent, many people can destroy their talent by, okay, we say talent creates pride, and we say talent creates pride and reluctance, like all of those things, in a way that, okay, we gave two illustration. We said two singers, one uh one person can actually sing well naturally. Maybe he or she just realize that he or she can sing well, like without practicing too much. Do you get that? Moreover, the other person is a kind of a novice, like he or she doesn't even know how to or maybe sing, and he or she kept on practicing. That's consistency, mind you. He or she kept on practicing. Moreover, the other person that is talented is not practicing. He or she said there is no room to practice because I can sing. Now, such person has started feeling he or she is not going to practice more. He or she is not going to see the room to maybe do more rehearsals and all of those things. So the person practicing daily, remind you, the person practicing daily isn't talented, not in any way. He or she doesn't know how to sing, but he kind of adapts to the or to consistency or go and all of that. Like adapt to or being consistent in learning, get my point, in learning that particular skill. Now the other person talented isn't doing anything because he or she still feel that I'm talented. It's more like inbuilt, is in me. If I come, I'll perform more than everybody. So if he or she feels reluctant and still continue like that, the person practicing daily and often, there will be a point that person will beat the person that is talented. That's just the fact. There will be a point where the person practicing daily is going to perform more far better than the other person, whether you believe it or not. That's just the point, and that's just a kind of typical example on how consistency can beat talent. And it said that, so if consistency can beat talent if talent fails to work hard. So that person not doing anything about his or her talent, or not figuring out a better way, or let's just say doing more things to get more skill on that, is more like you, or is more like that talent is not working hard. So that's just the way that talent is not working hard. So consistency is going to beat it because the talent fails to work hard. So enough of it anyways, but these are just all these things I'm saying is just a kind of a error to compare to what you will gain if you happen to watch it. Just a section behind, a section before this one, you can equally check maybe after this section. All right guys, so that is that, and that's for that. And moreover, we have something today. Remind you, I have not introduced today's topic. I just a kind of a bit introduction, or let's just say a bit throwing, I don't just know, but I just feel, or let's just say decided to just a kind of throw more light on the last section. Okay, that's before this, or so that even if you're not able to make it up yesterday, you're gonna you're not gonna miss it. So that's for that. So if we're to start up today, now, okay, at first, I will come back, or let me just say I welcome every single person, every single soul, every personal person, every special soul here watching. I really appreciate the fact you're watching and do not take it for granted. So if you're already seated, grab your seats very tight, because we're going to be detailing down a very vital topic that has to do with personal life, that has to do with personal life and growth. So it's more like outside school. That's just what we're talking about. It's just more like outside school, and it's more like things that you cannot just do without, you cannot succeed without. Like it's very very necessary and requested for one's life for an adult growth and getting to succeed. You get that? So I remind you again, school isn't teaching all of this. So and if we neglect it, if we don't look on it, if we don't a kind of get students know all of this, it's really going to affect their lives. Like many of them are going to get it in the wrong way, and by doing that it's going to affect their lives now or better in future. So that is not what we want, and that's the essence and the reason why we're making all of this, just to prevent that. All right guys, so in today's section you guys are welcome. So in today's session, what do we have today? We have a very very vital topic that is very very cool. Oh my god. So today's session is goal setting and vision planning. Applaud now. Goal setting and vision planning. All right, it's okay to applaud again. I've told my audience to applaud. All right, today's session topic is goal setting and vision planning. And okay, you guys already know that when it has to do with goal setting, vision planning, we're talking about our youth, and maybe the lesson that we want to communicate from this topic is just to maybe kind of help our youth, upcoming adults, know what really goal setting means, and what, or let's just say how they can actually set their goals and make appropriate plans. Being goal setting and vision planning, that's cool. Get okay, at first we're gonna make them understand the difference between goal setting and vision. That's the first let's just say lesson that we want to communicate. And apart from that, we're going to kind of differentiate between goal setting. The two different thing is more like different thing, but is a kind of interrelated but not actually the same thing. So most students, or let's just say most adults, are misplacing it and interchanging it unknowingly to them, and it's very very, I don't know, but right here and now I'm going to kind of separate it, detach it, and show you the difference and their works, more like functions, and how one can actually manage both. All right guys, so on that note, we'll just say okay, at first we're gonna get okay at first, since our topic today is goal setting and vision planning, firstly we are going to get the meaning of, remind you, getting the meaning, or let's just say knowing thing is okay. Getting the actual it's just I don't know, it's just more like phrase. You knowing the cause of something helps you solve it. You cannot solve a problem that you don't know about, or let's say cannot solve a problem that you don't know. That's just it. So at first, let's get the meaning. By getting the meaning, I hope it will help you to relate with me well, or let's just say it will help you to get the angle, let's just say the track I'm taking. All right guys, so at first, goal setting, okay, let's just say go, okay, let's go serial, let's go. Goal is more like a target, something that you're looking towards, something you're working towards, to a kind of, it's just like routine, like something that you're doing daily, or just something that you're trying to achieve within a short or long period of time. Is okay, like let's just say the goal set, or let's just say goal is more like result oriented, like it's more like something that ends with you achieving it. That is a kind of finished goal. Like if was said, or if we should say that a goal is being achieved, it's more like somebody have really achieved that, which is that which is being set for. Do you get that? So it's more like an achieved end. So goals always has achieved end. So let's just get that view from that place. Okay, that's for goal. And setting is just more like you, I don't know, like if we was to talk about setting, it's just more like arrangement, or let's just say putting things in the right putting the right hole, or right spot in the right hole, a kind of that. Or let's just say it's more like an arrangement. So if we were to talk about setting in this sense, it's more like an arrangement. So right guys, so and vision planning, what's vision? Vision is more like a big version of one's life. I don't know, but vision is more like the big picture of what you want to become. Vision, like have a vision. Vision is more and big, more far more better than goal. Like goal is more like target, something that you have set within years time to get. Moreover, vision is more like future oriented. Let's just put that a kind of that. uh Vision is more like future, or what's it called, future oriented. So if you're talking about fiction in this sense, it's more like it takes goal. Remind you, I'm going to tell you the difference between goal and vision and how it works, and ways that people are interchanging it that is really causing harm more than good now. So on that note, firstly is goal is more like is more like step by step targets. When you have a target about something, when you're targeting to get something done, like it's just more like step by step. So just more like a step this thing that you prescribe to actually get that done. Moreover, vision is more like vision, as the name implies. You're visualizing, I don't know, but it's more like you picturing something, not as if you're set down the goal, but maybe you visualizing it. Then goal is more like something that helps you. Vision is more like, I don't know, vision, okay, vision is more like the actual destination, but goal is more like stops. Or let's just say, okay, now let's make it practical. Vision is the actual location you're going. Goal is what takes you there. Now it is what takes you there in the sense of maybe you're going to Lagos, or let's just say, yeah, let's just use Lagos is a vision. You may just be anywhere you are and be like, I want to go to Lagos, is a vision. Or you want to be in Lagos, is a vision. Now goal is, how will I get there? By making necessary arrangements, getting some plans done, or maybe let's just say getting a means of going there. So that's just goal. Having these two definitions will help you get at first the picture of goal. So that goal is a kind of step by step guide that leads you to your destination, being your vision. Do you get that? So vision is the actual destination, goal is step by step guide, something that carries you there. So if you call let's just use our language, if you call go car or just a vehicle, let's just say the goal is just more like a vehicle that carries you to the moreover vision is just the actual place you're going. So this is just more like planning. We're still defining the words really. So planning is more like a kind of a state of one making maybe some necessary search, or let's just say some possible ways, you figuring out some possible way you can actually get something done, maybe in a more efficient and appropriate way. Let's just say that's a plan. Like I just kind of used a simple this thing to get just more like plan, and it's just a simple word, planning. So if we're to combine it now, okay, if we're to combine it, if we just say goal setting and vision planning, so it's just more like step by step guide on how you can, like step by step and settings and all of that, on how you can get to where you want to, or let's just say get to the actual thing you pictured, that kind of a thing. So under that we said, what is a goal? Okay, I think we just did that by saying goal is more like action step by step guide, uh a kind of walk to, just like that. It's more like step by step something, and kind of, I say, as I said, goal is I don't know, action. Let me just say goal is action oriented, or goal is action oriented, or let's just say result, because you setting a goal is being complete or it's being actualized. It's more like when you have really achieved it. If you have not achieved it, or the goal setting is not complete. So this, anyone setting a goal, or let's just say if we're talking about goal setting, there is achievement at the end, or let's just say the achievement is expected to be gained at the end. So okay, what is a vision? I think I said that vision is more like a big brother or a big version of where you want to be, or let's just say the end or even a destination. And we said again that goal is more like something that drives you there, something that takes you there, something that carries you, or a vehicle. Okay, we said that we can as well refer goal as a vehicle, something that carries you to that destination, be your vision. Alright guys, so remind you, you're getting down, like you're still bringing it down to, then we'll now get to relate it to students, and when it has to do with their life and decision and all of that. So we said, okay, why many students struggle after school? Now this is more like a question. Why do many students struggle even after school? Now the reason is very clear, and the answer is as so clear. Why many students struggle? The question, okay, why many students struggle after school? At first, let me tell you that, okay, struggling after school. The thing is, most of them, okay, we are not pursuing. Let me just kind of come from my angle firstly, then I will now give you a kind of a detailed reason. Most of them isn't they are not able to, or let's just say they were not opportune to get gain, or let's just get this knowledge I'm passing through now, and maybe they were not taught. You get, in one of our section we said school is more like, hmm, that's school, my god, how can I do that now? Okay, 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 okay. I think, hmm, I succeeded. Okay, 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 okay. All right, guys. So I just pasted the kind of sticker. Okay, and my sticker is saying, "What are you thinking?" So you can just get to reply that if you're already thinking anything. All right, guys. So let's just still proceed to, we said, why many students? That's our question. Maybe before we were a bit interrupted. Okay, why many students fail after school? Okay, the question there is why many students struggle even after school. Now we said most of them doesn't have, or let's just say didn't lay kind of solid foundation. Most of them did not make appropriate plans. Most of them, their plans fails. That's actually cool. It can happen. It's not like it's their fault. But I think we stated out something, or let's just say we made something note, or a kind of notable something, when it has to do with a student or an adult getting to fail without a kind of backup system, without having anything to rely on. On that note, we said, okay, if it's a student, because the question here now is relating to students, and the question is saying why did they fail, even why did they struggle even after school. Now maybe they are struggling because maybe they happen to graduate and they have not gotten job, a kind of that, or let's just say they happen to graduate and maybe their plans didn't work as planned, or let's just say what they had in mind fails, stuff like that, or maybe anything can just happen. So it's more like inevitable something, and it's something that one cannot just run away from. So students can struggle after school because of a lot of reasons, and few of the reasons I'm saying here, maybe they happen to a kind of their plans, or let's just say the way they plan their life, there is gonna be maybe after school feels. And we said it's possible because this is life, and we said anything can cause anything, and anything can make anything happen. So on that note, we said a student is not okay, or let's just say is not right, or wise to say, okay, let's just say it's not right for a student to maybe depend on his or her certificate alone. Get the word alone. It's not just right, because if were to depend on that alone, okay, it can shock you that such student that depend on his or her certificate alone is the people struggling. Now I'm gonna tell you why. Maybe they happen to get a good grade, that's actually cool and awesome, but maybe during the process, or let's just say during outside school and all of that, something happened, or let's just say they were not able opportune, they didn't gain favor from on being employed and all of that, like they were not just opportune to, and mind you, that was their only hope. They relied on it totally, wholeheartedly. Now they are gonna be disappointed on that. Now there's no other thing, no skill, no, like there's no other skill, there's no other business, like there's no other thing to maybe rely on, or even start developing, maybe something that you get to know, or get the knowledge maybe during while you were still in school, stuff like that. Okay, now let me just give an illustration, just like somebody that is doing, maybe a student studying, maybe during his or her free time. Maybe if lectures is ending by 2, he or she is going to go somewhere, maybe to learn a skill, maybe all this freelancing stuff, video editing, or more like graphic design, like stuff like that, online skills, more like a skill. Now such student, even if it happens that such student feels a kind of or to gain employed, or just like he or she was not favored when it has to do with employment, he or she is not stuck. Because why? He or she has something, maybe a skill, maybe a business that he or she started while she or he was still in school. Now in such situation, the person is going to develop it more, look for a better way to do it. He or she has something already, but it's very very hard and not always easy to start at that time. Peradventure, if you're not able to gain or learn any skill, then it's very very hard to start at that time. That means a graduate, or maybe after school, after everything, after your big age, you're gonna start learning work. Just imagine, it's not always easy and it's not always working out. So these are things we should get to tell our adults, so as they should start making appropriate plans. Appropriate plans maybe while they are still schooling, maybe they should start up a small business, maybe they should get to learn a skill, maybe they should get to learn a kind of something that works, or something that can create value, and something that can gain, they can actually gain from, maybe sometimes in the future. So, or let's just say they can just kind of get venture in entrepreneur and all of that. Maybe that's a small business. So all of this, even if school fails, or let's just say even if they were not opportunity to gain employed in an organization, they are not going to be stuck. They are just going to maybe try getting that skill, they got the knowledge from maybe during the university, and get to invent it, or maybe let's say grow it up. So that's just the advantage of a skill, or let's just say is any student getting to learn other things while you're still in school, because such students is not easily going to be stuck or be frustrated. So that's the emphasis, and this is very very vital and very necessary that we pass this to our young adults, our young youth, our upcoming youth. Do you get that, guys? So that's for that. So on that note as well, we have okay, step by step how students should set goals. Now this is more like a question and more like an action step. Alright guys, it's more like an action step. This thing is like, okay, step by step how students should set goals. How should students set goals? Like it's more like a question. How should students set their goals? Now, at first, we said students, at first, students set goals. Okay, sorry guys, I'm still coming to what I wanted to say now. At first, okay, we said step by step, step by step, how students should set goals. Okay, we said at first they need to know what they want. Like it's more like asking myself, what did I want? What can I do? What's the possible ways to do it? Where did I want to be? What kind of future did I want? What kind of life and what kind of environment did I want to live? What kind of income did I want to in? Okay, now on that note, remind you, it's more like a question stage. Under, okay, it's a question stage and is under step by step how students should set goal. Now you cannot just set a goal without you actually knowing what you want. You cannot set a goal as a student without you knowing how you want to get it done, because this has to do with it, like it connects to goal. Now you setting a goal, you should actually know what you want. That is even where the goal setting comes from, or let's just say the goal frame, or let's just say the goal direction comes from you actually going to know what you want to do. Now let's just assume it's somebody that maybe a computer engineering student that is, okay, a computer engineering student that is learning maybe during university. You know, she's going to be like, in 10 years come, in time 5 years come, I want to work, or I want to remotely work for maybe or all these organizations, maybe in the airport and all of that, like stuff like that, stuff that has to do with his or her discipline, maybe while still in school. Now that's a vision. Get my point. That's a vision. Now he or she is going to make possible ways, or let's just say stops. That stops now is gonna be referred as a goal, or let's just say as it's just the as a goal, because a goal is just more like target. It's just more like you have seen something being vision. Now you have to set goals on how to get there. That's why we said vision is like destination, goal is like what takes you there. So on that stage, what you want is being able to work with a big organization. Now what takes you there is more like goal. Then that goal, when we're bringing it to student, that like it down to student, we just more like when maybe to get there, maybe you're going to graduate well. Now graduating well requires you, or maybe gaining maybe high CGPA, and maybe graduating with good grades and stuff like that, and you being able to actually defend yourself. But because that's another thing, not even coming out with the big certificate, but you're gonna be able to defend oneself. So you're going to develop this what's it called, these abilities, these skills. Now that process that it takes to develop all of this is just more like go, like, because you're going to set how you're going to develop, you're going to set how you're going to go about it in obtaining those grades and graduating well, so as to reach your destination, which is your vision, being to work in a big organization. So do you get the illustration, guys? So this is more like an illustration stuff that I just throw here now. And if you check, or like if you have been following me, you should get, or let's just say you should just understand what I illustrated right now. So it's more like step by step what keeps you going, what you keep marching, what you keep doing, that is going to help you gain, or let's just say arrive to that your final destination, which is your vision. Do you get that? So these are just possible ways that students can, okay, it's just step by step how students, okay, it's just more like step by step how students can equally get, how students can should, okay, how students should set their goals. So it's more like step by step guide on how students is going to set their goals. So another thing we have here is, okay, secondly is more like turn vision into long-term goal. Now turning a vision, remind you, a vision is destination, future oriented, not now, not present, it's something in the future, and getting it done requires a goal, being step by step guide, being strategies and methods that you're gonna take that takes you there. Now under that content we say turn vision into long-term growth, long-term growth or goal. Now long term, you all know what is long term. Long term is just more like a long process, something maybe 3 4 5 years, a kind of few years. Long term has to, it involves years, not only months. When something is being referred as long term, it's more like years. So it's gonna add 2 3 4 years, 5 years. It just can be seen as a long term. Now remind you, you're gonna arrive at the future, be your destination, yes, but if you're to, on the note, okay, if you're to turn visions into long term, now it's more like cutting it step by step. It's more like now you dividing it. Now maybe you're, okay, now let's just assume you're in 300 level, you're in 200 level, and you're doing computer engineering, and you're going to be like, in the next 5 years, in the next 3 years. Now that's a goal, but it's long term. Do you get it? I'm just trying to give you a picture of what long term goal means. Now it's not a vision, just get my point. That's not a vision, it's a goal, but a long term goal. So that is why we're saying make, or let's just say turn visions to long term goal. So if you're to turn it to long term goal, it's more like you your goal set is just a goal, actually how to get there, but it's more like gonna take time. It's more like a kind of long term process. I was trying to give an illustration which I said, if just more like a student, maybe in 200 level studying engineering, and was like, okay, the picture, let's just say the vision of the student is to work maybe to, or let's just say in a very big organization, or even in the airport, stuff like that, and that's the person's vision. Now that vision, he or she is going to cut it into long term goal. Now cutting it into long term goal is just more like he or she getting, okay, maybe he or she now decides to, since I want to get to this point, I really need a good grade. Now that good grade, maybe he or she is going to struggle, or let's just work hard, maybe academically, gain maybe some notable points or some notable CGPA. Do you get that? So that is like that is more long term goal. He or she is going to set out a long term goal. Now I'm just giving an illustration, and I said the long term goal can be a kind of the process that it will take for such students to accumulate maybe a number of what's it called, a number of score, or let's just say a number of grades that can help him or her to get to the destination, which is the eviction. Alright guys, so I just know, I just hope you're getting what I'm saying here, but that's just it. And that is just the stop, and this is just how was okay this is just how okay one can turn vision into long-term goal. All right, so next thing I've done is break it iye. Okay, break it into your yearly goal. Now you're gonna break your vision. Remind you, first is to break it into long-term growth, long-term goal. And well, that's just what we just finished saying now. We said the long-term goal is gonna take something like 3, 4, 5 years. So it's not normally a year. And here again, we're telling you to still break after you have broke, or like you have cut it down to uh long-term goal. You're still going to cut it down to your yearly goal. Now if we're talking about yearly goal in this context, maybe yearly goal is just more like a yearly, I don't know, it's just more like something that you're going to be checking up maybe after every year, after some season, something like that. And maybe okay, maybe if I were to give illustration on that, maybe for you to get it, or if you cut your vision into a long term goal, let's just give an example. And the example may be maybe a student that wants to okay, now let's still use we started already with what is it called, an engineering student. So let's use an engineering student, a student studying engineering. So he or she wants to work in a big organization, and it requires him or her making the good grades, and those good grades is going to it's what powers, or let's just say it's what determines that he or she reach to that destination or that position. Now we were talking about cutting that vision into yearly, or what's it called, yearly goal, or yeah, yearly goal, your yearly goal. Now yearly goal in this sense, maybe you're going to okay, we're not gonna be talking about maybe getting grades now. Maybe you're going to venture into practical side. Maybe since you're an engineering student already, maybe get to start learning on it practically, like get to start practicalizing things on that note, get to start mastering system. So it's not like a practical aspect. Now if you're to cut that your goal into what's it called, sorry guys, if you're to cut that your goal into yearly stuff, it's more like practical. So it's not something that you're going to take long, it's not longer, it's not more like it's not now long term growth. So it's more like yearly. So you guys know what is yearly. Yearly is more like annual something now you should get. So it's more like yearly something, and you're probably going to be reviewing it. Now reviewing it, I mean, is just to be checking it, the progress, where there is mistakes, where you need to be corrected, where you need to fix errors. So it's more like annual something. So you can actually do that by that. Alright guys, so another thing is to break it into semester. From long term growth, you're going to bring it down to yearly goal, then semester goal. Now if you're talking about semester goal, it's just more like something that you're going to be reviewing. Maybe if we're talking about studying, maybe you're going to, okay, let's just say you're a teacher, maybe you want to end up being a professional teacher. You get that? So you're going to bring it down, let's just say cut it down to your semester goal by maybe after, okay, not missing class, okay, let's just say not missing lectures, and maybe getting to meet lecturers. Remind you, it's semester, so it's just all the activity it has to do with semester duration. So it's not gonna exceed it. So it's more like you attending lectures, not missing, you getting to meet lecturers maybe when you don't get their course clearly, or let's just say you getting to review your progress and therefore like just more like tracking records. So you're going to track your performance, more like evaluation. You're going to track your performance, whether you're actually growing or the other way around. So that's for that, how you can break it into semester. Now, we use student examples. Now, if we're talking about scholarship, now, okay, real student example. One is scholarship. Now, scholarship is just like when you want to you want scholarship to study abroad. Maybe you study outside country, you study in any country that you of your choice. Now there is something, or let us say there is a method, there is something attached to it. Now you cannot just get scholarship freely like that. You cannot just wake up and check and you're being given a scholarship. So it's not always working like that. There is some stuff that always gets to that point. Now, as we said, we said scholarship, mind you, it's just really like real student examples. And we say scholarship. Now, if a student is gonna gain scholarship, maybe he or she is going to actually perform well, maybe as perform more than other students, maybe during exam, or maybe outside skill, or let's just say something like anybody cannot, okay, let's just say everybody can't just get or let's just say be given scholarship. So there is some notable things that a student is gonna do or get involved. Maybe he or she gets to do it appropriately well. Maybe the organization, or let's just say the firm, will just happen to give such students a scholarship. So such, okay, if we were to talk about scholarship in this sense, if we were to bring it academically, or let's just say if we were to relate it with student and schooling, so it's just more like when a student has performed more than other students, when a student perform awesomely well and stuff like that. So and it's going to help you in getting a part, maybe to, or to the notable, or let's just say to their expectant anything grades, or let's just say what they want, or let's just say the grade that they are expecting. That's just it, and it's going to really help you to gain that. So that's for that when it has to do with scholarship. Now, entrepreneur and students. Now, entrepreneur and students is more like students getting to be involved or get themselves involved to business, to things, to outside hustle. Now, entrepreneur, or okay, entrepreneur, well, okay, entrepreneurial students, remind you, okay, that's entrepreneurial student, remind you, was still talking about vision, and we said vision is the actual destination, being where you want to stop. Future is, what's it called again, future oriented. That is what Fed vision has. And other than a lot, and part of what was another student. And okay, let's just assume now we're not using engineering students again, we're using maybe a student, an average student, maybe a student that wants to uh okay, let's just say a student that has the vision. Now the vision is, I want to gain my own organization, I want to get people employed and them working for me, I want to own my own brand. Now this is the vision when it has to do with entrepreneur students. Remind you, I'm just vision. So this is entrepreneur student. Now this is his or her vision, this is what he or she wants. Now getting there, it requires process. Now that process may be maybe while he or she is still in school, he or she is going to start up a small business, getting to learn skill, getting to know that business more, getting to equip it, and maybe getting to grow it small small. Even when he or she is out, like there is still better chance, or let's just say even there is even a great what's it called, like opportunity that he or she is even going to grow even while still in school. So these are just things under entrepreneur students. If okay, now such student is was like, or is like, I want to have my own brand, I want to, he or she is going to learn marketing, he or she is going to get the detailed knowledge what marketing really means, he or she is going to know how to market, or how to bargain price, like all of those things. So he or she is going to get the knowledge first, and maybe still work on that to get more equipped on it even before he or she is out. So that's just the process. Maybe at the end of everything, he or she is going to still gain the goal, the vision, which is that destination, being to actually own his or her what's it called, organization, and still people are going to work for him or her. Do you get that? So that's just for that, and that's how it goes. So at first it must be a vision followed by go be the strategies to actualize that. So that's it for guys, that's it. All right, so okay, just more like university goal, daily action, I don't know, just more like that. Now common mistakes that students make. Now what are the common mistakes students make? This is very very crucial. Like a lot of students is making a lot of mistakes, and in this sense your calling is common. Now at first you should ask yourself like why is it common, and why is it a mistake that students always make. Now it's common because let's just say it's more like normal, it's more like rampant, it's more like everywhere, and it's more like often something that students make. That's at first, that's why it's common, it's called common. And now we said mistakes that students make. Now you may ask what are these mistakes, what are these common mistakes that students make. Okay, now let me just prescribe some. Students make decisions, or let's just say okay, or let's just say a goal or vision by pressure. Now what I mean there is just like a student maybe that is not interested in anything that has to do with science, maybe science, what I mean there, maybe getting to study maybe message and all of that, like science now you should get. So maybe student is gonna be pressured by parents, he or she loves art and maybe a lawyer, he or she wants to go to law and all of that. So parents are saying go for message, go for or med lab, all of those things, go for engineering. Now he or she is going to feel stuck, and it's really going to affect such student if he or she wants to that direction at first, because that's not what he or she wants. He or she was pressured, was pressed to it. Now this yes, we have to relate this now to our parents because it's really affecting a lot. It's just more like you shouldn't, or let's say you're not expected to compare your student or what you feel is because this is not you. He or she knows where he or she is good and better and what he can do best. So every student, most at times most of them is just like creating stuff, like they are going to be good in that area. So you're not going to start telling them that's no, like choose this instead of this. They should choose what they want because it's more like their life, is them, like it's more like their own. So you're not to live your own life, then you're still going to live part of their own for them. It's not nice now. So you can as well suggest, but not to mandate or persuade. So that's just it. You can actually mandate, you can actually suggest a course or a discipline for your child, or maybe a future career to choose, but not to persuade, or let's just say not to suppress, or let's just say be a kind of must, because it may ruin such student life or such adult life. So parents, take note of this. All right guys, so let's just proceed. And I say what again we have here. Okay, review system never, very important. Review system very important. Now under everything we've been saying, review system is very very important. Now if you're planning to go to okay, at first we said destination being vision, and on this next building where we said review system is very important. Now you're going to review system by evaluating, checking performance, checking mistakes, and making some necessary adjustment. So it's more like adjustment that there should be chance or a room for to adjust. Do you get that? So you don't just get something straight and like that. So there is a room to adjust, and that's why we said review system never, very important. Now you're going to be reviewing system by checking, evaluating, comparing, and all of those stuff. So it's gonna make you to be more strong, just like when you're making mistake, when you're not or getting it right. Now when you review, that's the essence of the review system. Now you're gonna discover it and be like, and still it even before you get to your destination, which is your vision. So that's this, that's for that guys. And again, okay, we have goal setting using these 5 stages. Now it's more like action step, and more like prescribed method stop, how a student, adults, young adults can equally get to gas start setting goals. Just more like goal settings using these 5 stages. We pointed out, or we noted out 5 stages Like we noted that 5 stages here, and one is clarity. At first, clarity is more like you knowing what you want. Like as I said earlier, you cannot solve a problem that you don't know. You cannot start what you don't know where it started. Like you cannot finish what you don't know where it started. So you're gonna be clear about your motive, about your vision, what you really want, what do you want. That's the number one stop to enable you, like to help, or let's just say to actually determine a kind of a successful vision. Let us say that at first you need to know what your vision is. That's clarity first. And secondly is vision. Now after clarity, you know what you want. Now vision, you have pictured it, you have seen it, like you have actually know what you want, and you actually know angle. Like you just okay, as clarity is just like you want to travel. Now vision is more like you know where you want to go. Let's just take it from that view. Vision is more like you know where you want to go. Now that's a vision. Now strategies can as well be referred as goal. Now strategy is more like possible ways to actually get there, possible ways to actually achieve that your aim, possible ways to actually achieve that's what that you that you inspired, that you want, that you love to. So it's more like strategy. So that is why it's called strategy. So it's more like goal, action step by step guide, what takes you there. It's more like a vehicle. So you can refer strategies now more like okay, at first strategy is not easy. Why it's called strategy is just more like a secret, or let's just say a different method. Okay, let me give an illustration. Just like somebody that is okay marketing business, maybe two graduates is marketing, he started up a marketing business. Both of them are doing the business, but one is making more sales, or rather one is making sales more than the other one. Now what's the cause? Maybe it's because of strategy. Now what's the strategy then? Maybe he or she is, I don't know, maybe he or she is treating his or her customer as well, maybe doing some ojoro, a kind of that, doing some extra stuff, and maybe sharing them up whenever they come to buy. That's a very good strategy. Maybe the other person is not doing that, that's why he or she is not actually selling to or up to the other person standard. So these are strategies. So it's seen as a kind of a hidden. It's not wrong to say it's a hidden because everybody don't know it. So if we're referring to strategy, we just say it's just more like a hidden something, or let's just say just like a hidden secret that one finds to actually get something done easily. It has to do with easy, like strategy, like it's not just hard. You get, so it can just be seen as a strategy. So you're gonna, in this sense, you're going to get the strategy to actually get that. Okay, what I'm talking about is under goal setting using the 5 steps. Okay, and I said one is clarity to actually know what you want, vision to actually picture that you now know what you want and the exact place it is. Now strategy is how you get there, what drives you there, like how possible, like how you're going to just get there. Let us refer that as a strategy. Now action is more like that stop you take, more like blueprints, more like step by step. So it's more like action. Now if you have a vision with and you have okay, if you have a vision, you have a goal, without action nothing is moving, because that action is just more like working, just more like I don't know, it's just more like the beginning point. So that action is what start up everything, not even you picturing it, not even you knowing what you want, but the action stuff. So it's very important. Now review, as I made mention earlier, review is more like you evaluating. Now you're going to be checking your clarity, like you're going to evaluate vision strategies, you're going to check on it, maybe to still get more, or let's just say appropriate way of doing it. If you to evaluate, if you to review strategy, if you to review action, maybe you're going to check, maybe my actions are not right, or let's just say I'm not taking the right step. So all these things review should, or let's just say it's necessary to be among, because it's what really makes sense to the stuff. All right guys, so I don't know if you've been watching so far. I don't know. Maybe in any way I've tried communicating sense to you, or let's just say you have actually gained something. Maybe just considering giving us a thumbs up. Maybe if you're not subscribed to our channel, just do. And maybe put in anything, any comment You can just tell us your name. You can tell us anything. You can just, I don't know, I don't know. I'll get supplies. Okay, guy. I don't just know. So if if complicated in any way, if opened your eyes, maybe in a positive way, you've let you know something that naturally that you don't know. Maybe just try giving us a thumbs up, and me, I'm giving you a thumbs up. Are you not seeing, man? I'm giving you my own thumbs up here. All right, guys. So that's for that, and I think let's now head to our notables. So you're very sure we're gonna get off. So I think this is the last this is notables. Now notables is just the things we prescribe. That's just what we pen down here. Alright guys, so first notable is okay, don't let school finish without a plan. Now this is a kind of advice, kind of, I don't know, but it's going for our youth, for our young adults, people that are still in school. Don't let school finish without a plan. Now, what I mean by don't let school finish without a plan is just more like when you're in school. Don't just be in school because you're in school. I don't know, it sound like parable. Don't just be in school because that you're in school. Now, what I mean there is just like don't just stay or rely or just say or always say I'm in school, I'm in school just because you're in school. Just the emphasis there is just to get something outside doing. Now it's not bad, you can start up a business. Starting up a business, they have flexible business that you can easily go up with, that is it's not going to fight your studying time or let just the lectures period. So this just is more like advice stage. Now don't let finish as you having a plan already, even if you have not started. At least have a plan, have something that you're picturing, have something that you started seeing, that even if school side doesn't work out well, you're not going to be a kind of left out. Do you get that? So that's just the point I'm trying to make there. Alright guys, it's as your works and help. So I have another notable, I think this is my last notable here. So what's that notable? Exams, test memory, life test direction. My god, this is painful, so disheartening. I want to cry. But that's just the fact. Exam test memory, exam test your memory, exam. Now get my points. I mean, what I mean there by exam test memory is just like if you're gonna write exam, probably you're going to study, probably you're going to get used or conversant with the exam you're going to write. You're going to get possible ways or reach out possible exam questions, maybe past questions. So you're going to get equipped on that course and maybe try passing well. So this is how exam test memory. And again, we were talking life test direction. Now I remind you, exam is going to test your memory, and exam own is even good because before you start up an exam, your lecturers is going to be like, they are going to enlighten you on the course of course study, area of concentration, things, and get you ready. But moreover, life doesn't do that. Life doesn't have the time. Life will just hit you. Life will just hit you, and maybe if you're not ready, you're not strong, if you're not emotional and if you're not mentally and emotional strong ready, you're going to feel like you're just going to succumb, you're going to slack. So these are just things that we don't want, because if students live like that, when they slack, when they make mistakes, it's really going to affect their life, and by doing that they are going to feel stuck and or frustrated in life, which we don't want for our Nigerian students. So that's that, guys. So okay, life test version in the sense of life is going to like just consider, or let us say check it from the view on how exam test your, or exam test whether you don study. Let me use our language. Exam test whether you don study, exam test whether you don dey ready for the exam, you don or stuff like that, you don gather yourself, like do you really know what you want to write. So that's how exam test you, by the questions you're going to figure out. Now life is not more like at first. Life doesn't prepare you for exam. life hits comes anytime, so anything can just happen anytime. So it's more like you getting ready, getting prepared, expecting it before it even comes. So that is just how a student can easily, or let's just say possible way students can get ready and not to, it kind of be stuck. So that's for that guy. So I don't know. I just hope that I've just tried a kind of passing and knowledge to our youth outside there, our young adults, our upcoming students, our upcoming adults. See, the truth of the matter, let me just say this, but that's just a fact. The truth of the matter is you are gonna grow. You cannot just withstand or restrict yourself from growing. You're becoming an adult, and without you gaining all of this knowledge, without you moving on with this knowledge, it's going to affect facts. Like it's going to make you make some mistakes that everything you're saying here is going to prevent you in, like it's going to restrict you from gaining, it's going to help you from getting into that trouble. So it's best to know all of this, and it's best as well to start acting on it. Not only knowing, start acting on it so as to help you tomorrow, maybe in later years to come. So that's it, guys. I don't know. I'm not even introducing myself. I don't know, but if you're seeing us for the first time, this is UF Graphics, and maybe you just check us on other social media, and this UF Graphics, YouTube. That's the UF Graphics, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. UF Graphics. So you just try following up and get to learn more things. And as well, you can as well refer us to maybe your friends that you know that wants this knowledge, or people that you know that who can pass this knowledge. Maybe you just try sharing our links or telling them our name to just come and hear things that actually help their life and stuff like that. So I just know I really appreciate the fact that you are here, and if you're watched to this, oh my god, which gift will I give you? Just mention it. Mention your gift. Mention your gift. What gift do you want? Let me give you a gift. Let me just give you a gift. I don't just know. But I really appreciate the fact that you watched to this time, and I really say that it's not taken for granted. Like I really regard that, and I give you a thumbs up for it. So I really appreciate the fact that you watched, and you're still watching, and you're gonna watch more. Alright guys, so at the point and at the moment you're going to go offline. So thank you guys for paying attention to us. Thanks for joining our live section. Thank you for your time and energy. Thank you for paying close attention, and we hope and expect you acting upon it, and you're really going to make a notable, you're going to be a distant, yes, you're going to be a distinct and a notable personnel and a notable personality. All right guys, so at the point and moment you're going offline, thanks you guys once more for joining our live session. Check us back tomorrow from 12 upwards, just from 1 upwards, afternoon time. So you're going to see us again, and you're going to get to learn things